First cast coming up. Dad Leland's back. He ain't screwing around anymore.
Freaking nice part, Purge.
Ah, life's good. Woo!
Good job, man.
Oh, Phil, I'm so glad you talked me into this.
Oh. Woo! What a way to start the morning briefing.
His old trolling rod, his old Pen 50, his old CalStar rod. For 50 years he used this thing. Unscrews here and the butt separates from the rest of the rod. Took some of my father's ashes and I've placed them inside the rod. So I can always say that I'm still fishing with my dad. My father's name was Chuck. That rod got bit, the crew would yell out, "Chuck's bit, Chuck's bit."
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is a gloriously beautiful morning. The sun is shining, and while it's still a little chilly, you can see it's going to be a lovely day. Perfect for the Eddie Leland Memorial later today, 4 to 8 at All Souls Cemetery in Long Beach, California. I hope to see you there. It's the perfect day to remember our dear friend who has gone on, because this meant so much to Eddie. After his family, after his loved ones, Eddie loved this beautiful Eastern Pacific. Not only the Eastern Pacific, any body of water. In fact, I could be driving by a puddle in the street and Eddie would be looking at it, and I know it was going through his mind. Is there any fish in there? I wonder if I could actually catch something in there. So today, later today, we will have that for you all. And of course, right now, we're going to get into the fishing because it's darn good. That cover of the morning briefing, courtesy of the American Angler, long-range fishing remains red hot. It's been really, really good. Up in the northern sector, and I'm talking up there in Bodega Bay, Santa Cruz, they continue to catch some nice, big, fat bluefin tuna. There was incredible nighttime fishing here in Southern California last night, just a few hours ago. Boats limiting out at night on BFT, so it has been good in the nighttime and the daytime. And of course, we've got rockfish and some calico bass and some great surf fishing. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. It's great to be with you all. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Saturday here on November the 11th to spend some time with me. It is Veterans Day, and of course, we honor all the men and women who have protected our country, the veterans who make this all possible. God bless you all, and thank you for all you do. I mean, I know it's insufficient, those words, but it's all I can do at this point in time is to say thank you so very much for your great sacrifice. It means so much to us all. Again, hit that like button, everybody. We appreciate when you do that. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. We are over 10 million views strong. When you combine all our social media, we owe that to each and every one of you. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content, including all our live shows and all of our programs during the week. And of course, share these videos with a friend. That means a lot to us. It really helps us to grow. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and TikTok. I left TikTok out. I can't do that. So you can follow us all day long on all those other social media platforms. It is truly great to be back with you. I have something to mention to you all in San Diego. Something just took place a moment ago. Yes, a Scott Buchert sighting. Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California said, "Phil, you called me early this morning. I just saw Scott Buchert." I appreciate you letting me know that, Sam. Actually, Scott is down there. He's working on the Mission Belle today with our dear friend over there, Sean Hardigan, who runs that boat. That will be fantastic. Scott's a hard worker, and we always like checking in on him. No question about that. Sam De La Torre is getting on board the Royal Star as we speak because Tom Honecker is getting off. Not because Tom is getting off, but they did meet up with one another today. Tom is going to go to Eddie's Memorial later today. Tom, I will see you there, my friend. And Sam is getting on board the Royal Star for 11 days. Sounds like no tackle shop confessions for a week. So we'll just have to see how we do. While we're on the subject of long range, it's been absolutely spectacular. Great fishing down there in the Ridge and Alejos Rocks. these areas, in case you're joining us from some other part of the world and you're not familiar with the Baja Coast, are several hundred miles down the Baja Coast. We're talking about 8, 9, 10, 11-day trips out of San Diego. It's usually about a 2-day run to get down there, and then the fishing is spectacular. It's highlighted by variety. I mean, yellowtail, dorado, yellowfin, tuna. It's just as amazing as you could want. Wahoo. There's some incredible marlin bites that take place during this time of the year. Well, long-range boats don't focus on that. Every once in a while, you'll have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 marlin jumping at the same time. They come right to the corner and eat. It's spectacular fishing right now on the long-range scene. So hopefully that is going to continue, my friends. Hey, a weather note for you. Our weather's gorgeous right now. It's going to remain that way until about Thursday, when we may get a little bit of a blow and some rain with it. It sounds like we're going to have a pretty rainy winter. I know I'm forecasting out into the future, but NOAA is saying that the El Nino appears to be intensifying and may last until about March of next year. And what happens on the West Coast during El Nino weather phenomenons is normally that jet stream dips down from Northern California and funnels in all that wet weather to Southern California. And of course, our dear friends in Mexico down there in Northern Baja California, that looks like the weather scenario as we are looking at it right now. We'll continue to monitor that for you very, very closely. I teased to you, and then I'm going to get into this bite here offshore because it's magnificent. Some really big fish up there in Northern California, and it is continuing to bite. Joe Russo is a dear friend of the Friedman Adventurers family, and Joe has invented the rail rod assist pipe, which really facilitates catching these big bluefin tuna. Some guys up there in Bodega Bay have been using Joe's rail rod assist pipe, and it has been fantastic for them. You see these guys putting on some giant bluefin up there in that neck of the woods. It still is mind-boggling that they're catching those fish up there in Northern California. Hey, I saw Joe at a show last year. He was kind of explained a little bit about what the rail rod assist pipe is. Here's Joe, and then I'll be back in a moment.
Used to catch these big bluefin tuna. Everybody's onto these new big rail rods and everything. Thing is, guys like me that own nice boats, we don't want you dragging that rail rod across my deck and on my rails. So I came up with this idea. It swivels 360 degrees. You put your rod in there, you stand up, you fight the fish using your leg muscles instead of your back muscle. Cuts down on the fatigue. We were able to put 10 fish on the boat using these things last year. No problem at all. Nobody was hurting at the end of the trip. We had a great trip. But yeah, definitely come check out the rail rod assist pipe.
All right, thank you, Joe. Good stuff. That is an awesome, awesome way to take these fish on. You should talk to Joe, send him a text, and see how you can order the rail rod assist pipe. It means a lot. All right, tribute, limits of bluefin tuna out of San Diego. He's now looking for some yellowtail or looking for a kelp-holding dorado. Limits of bluefin tuna last night. The El Dorado's into fish here this morning. Several other boats this beautiful Saturday morning, Veterans Day, are thumping on the bluefin tuna. It has been spectacular for quite some time now. We tracked it with you, and we remember during that full moon period, we kept telling you, hey, this is going to bite. It's going to get going. My fingers were crossed because I don't like letting you down. And it did just that. It went on the bite around the 43 out there near the 60. There's several other areas that are biting. We've seen absolutely phenomenal fishing since we got about 3 or 4 days past that full moon. In fact, it was a Thursday when those fish went on the bite, and they have not slowed down one bit. Daytime, nighttime, it's been fabulous. Some giant fish like you saw on the new Loan just the other day, 100, 200 pounders. One guy, Eric Lee, had 6 fish on his 3-day trip on the new Loan that exceeded 100 pounds. It can't get any better than that. Now reports from this morning that boats last night had phenomenal fishing. Other guys are into the bite right now. This takes in boats from San Diego all the way up to San Pedro, California. It is strictly fantastic. It's really a mind-boggling bite. And you add to it, we're knocking on the door of Thanksgiving right now, and it makes it even that more special. Let me give you a couple scores here. Pacific Queen limits of bluefin tuna on the first of their 3-day trip They're limited out on their second day here, early morning on Saturday. They're thumping them. Ranger 85 3.5 day trip. Limits of bluefin tuna. The El Patron had limits of bluefin tuna. They run out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. They're going to put out some trips. You ought to join them. They do a great job. Chauncey's on there. Chris is on there. Great guys, and they do a really great job. You could jump on the El Patron. Pacific Voyager, limits of bluefin tuna. The Freedom, they had a little bit of a tougher time on their last trip, but the bottom of the ninth, Trevor said they rolled up on a school of bluefin they wanted to bite on an overnight trip, 30 bluefin tuna. That is really fantastic fishing. I don't know how it can get any better than that. Boats that leave in the morning, come back in the evening, like the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. Nice day yesterday, 37 bluefin for 34 anglers. Anytime you get up over a fish for rod on those day trips, I say that is a great success. Really excellent fishing. Remember to vary your tackle. Sometimes these fish are going to bite on the 25-pound fluorocarbon. Other times they'll bite the 40. You need to have both. And hook sizes from a number 4 circle hook, maybe up to a 1/0. Bait remains small in San Diego. That's subject to change overnight. So make sure you have a variety of hook sizes, a variety of that opsin fluorocarbon or whatever your favorite fluorocarbon is. And also some of those Daiwas, the Kana lures, the small, shiny lures work really good, 100, 150 grams. You can hook those fish then by throwing those jigs on 50-pound. You can bid on heavier string when you're fishing the iron. So keep that in mind. It's a good way to go up to the bow, toss that baby out, get bit on the sink, get bit on the retrieve. That is all good. Nighttime, 300 to 500 gram jigs, colored line that changes color, metered line, changes color every 100 feet so you know the exact depth of your lure. It's so important to get your jig down to where the captain is telling you to. Drop immediately, drop to the depth the captain is telling you to drop to. That's going to get it done for you. And getting down there fast sometimes is uber important. So having that heavier jig, getting down there before the guy next to you, sometimes that's the difference between catching and not catching. So keep that all in mind. And man, I'll tell you, tremendous fishing already here on this lovely Saturday morning. It has been fantastic. Again, boats out of the LA Orange County area are also fishing this, so get on it while you can. It is really great. We take a look at our island situation. Not a whole lot going on at the islands, although Catalina has been kicking out some decent bonita fishing. Calico bass, whitefish, sheepshead at most all the islands. A little bit of bass, a couple of yellows here and there, not much. Channel Islands, slam dunking the rockfish. It's been absolutely fantastic fishing in the Channel Islands as always. And Ventura Harbor sport fishing. You don't get to fish on the Endeavor very often. They have an open party trip Sunday night with a few spots left. I highly recommend you jump on board with my friend Tucker McCombs. You'll have an absolutely great time. 805-676-3474. Perfect weather scenario. Fantastic boat and crew. Weather coming on Thursday. Squeeze that trip in. You will not regret it. You'll have all kinds of great eating fish after that one. Tucker McCombs in Ventura Harbor sport fishing. That would be really, really good. We look along the coastal region here, and as we look around, we see some really good rock fishing up and down the coast, and that's pretty much it. Some guys are focused on sheepshead and whitefish. Other guys are fishing the deep water cod. You can figure that out when you call the landing, and then you'll be able to gear up appropriately. But you know, I mean, some of the boats that have been fishing, Daily Double down there out of San Diego, Fred Uber. Fred, good morning, my friend. They've had great bottom fishing. The Sea Watch out of Seaforth has been doing good. Mirage and the Cobra up there out of Channel Islands, along with the Island Spirit and the Endeavor. Great fishing. Redondo sport fishing, good bottom bite for those guys. The Freelance here at Davies Lock in Newport Beach. The Dolphin in San Diego. I mean, it has been spectacular. The rockfish bite has been good. They're colorful, they're beautiful, they're fun to catch, and man, oh man, do they make a mean fish taco. Copious amounts of rockfish, and on days like this, I don't know how you can beat it. Lobster fishing, still really good over there at Catalina Island. My neighbor here in Surfside, California told me we went to Catalina Island, and it was no problem at all fishing our Promar nets. He told me they had easy limits. Wow, he really knocked them dead. So fantastic to hear that, and great lobster stuff going on. You can go down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Get a 10% discount when you mention Friedman Adventures, or you can go online to to promarahi.com. Put in Friedman10 at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. So that is a good deal. Surf fishing still really good. Man, look at this. It's a perfect time to be throwing a little chrome crocodile, 3/4 ounce. Toss it out there behind that wave, bring it back through. Guaranteed some yellowfin croaker, maybe even bar perch will bite on that, occasional halibut. You can also fish bait. That's a great way to get the job done. Sand crabs have been a little bit more difficult to come by here recently, but you can go down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, and they have all your surf fishing needs taken care of. Worms and mussels and a myriad of other baits down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. And you can also get that 10% off the hoop nets. And while we talk about Big Fish Bait and Tackle as being your surf fishing headquarters in Southern California, they also have all the big game gear you will need. Big Fish Bait and Tackle. I know Noli Yan, he continues to work down there by the Huntington Beach Fair, continues to catch good corvina and yellowfin croaker. He likes fishing the really light line. He drops down to 6 pound and has an absolute ball by doing it. So really great fishing on our Southern California beaches. Down in Baja California, northern Baja, areas around Ensenada and down there around San Quintin, Playa Socorro, man, they are off the hook on their barred perch fishing right now. It has been absolutely fantastic. Great fishing going on there. All right, my friends, it's always great spending time with you. Thank you so much for all your great support. Hit that like button, share these videos, tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And of course, we deeply appreciate you following us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Man, it's a pleasure to spend time with you each and every day. Have a great one. I'll see you later at the Leland Memorial, 4 to 8 this evening at All Souls Cemetery in Long Beach, California. If not, you know, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great Saturday and a wonderful weekend, my friends.